Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for always stopping by, liking, commenting and subscribing. For the new ones, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Subscribe. Feel free to tell us what you want on the comment section. And stay tuned on today's episode on Joda Apka. Don't forget that This Is Fit is showing on God's Missing Hollywood TV. Just in case you're interested in watching This Is Fit, click to God's Missing Hollywood TV. Stay tuned. So talk. Joda says relation is between two people and children built that relation. Our relation was of love and Salim was proof of our love. Jalal So says that you're right. Salim was our lovely child and he had to become hero of nation. But this I had hope that he will return to Agra following my order. All had hope. Joda So says that for all it was 7 years, but for me every day was a year. I used to watch Gate for hope for Salim's return. I didn't know how Salim would look like, but I knew that he would become a warrior. Jalal comes to Joda's room and says, I sent Salim many messages to return, but he never returned. Joda says he was in learning. Jalal says, that's why I didn't force him, otherwise who can say no to my order? Joda says, I didn't have any letter of his to have patience saying it only. Jalal says it's all over now. Salim will return from the same gate from where he left. Man tells me about his abilities. I am happy that he's going to be a great king now. Joda says, you are happy. Joda says, ask me. I have everything, power, position, wealth. But to ask about my son, I have to come to you. She says, I know that you also keep looking at this gate to see your son back. Jalal says, I never waited for my son, but Indian's next king, who would take my place, who will be king of everyone, who will be son and father of all nation. I want to see him as great king like me. He should be like lion who hits right target every time. Someone attack an isolated place. Soldier says that some betrayers has come. Catch him. Salim rises from water and starts hitting soldiers there with his arrows. He asks his companion Fahan, are you fine? He says, yes, Prince Salim. Salim has anger in his eyes. Salim says, I am not Prince, but only Salim. Today, too, I don't use positions given by my father. He is surrounded by others' army. He starts hitting them with rope. He beats them alone. Fahan smiles at him. They hug each other. Joda says, what about heart? Jalal says, yes, he shouldn't have heart like me. He should have only test for win. Joda says, you want to make him heartless? Jalal says, yes, like I used to be. He recalls how he killed people at young age, saying that I don't have heart and warriors doesn't have heart. Salim is attacked by one more soldier. He tries to attack on his heart. Salim holds his hand and says, I wish you had chosen some other place to attack me. I could have forgiven you, but you tried to attack me on my heart. Everything in this world can be mended again, but this heart, years back, my parents broke it. From that time, I have kept it safe. I won't let anyone to break it. I am not that warrior who doesn't have heart. I am that warrior who doesn't let anyone attack their heart. He beats the soldier. Jalal says to Joda that I made people afraid by just my name. My enemies used to have fears of me. He recalls how he used to behead people in young age. He smiles remembering that. How he killed the king and asked his soldiers to take his head to his state and tell them to see in his eyes the fear of Jalal. Mughal soldiers come to Salim. Salim asks them to take this soldier and don't let them know that he was killed like this. Tell them that he fought greatly and killed 12 enemies and then he got martyred. Don't let his kids see his face, as they will see fears in his eyes and they will lose respect. Then Jalal says to Joda that I hope that my son will rule nation and everyone. Fahan asks Salim, what do you want? You win everywhere, but you don't try to take place in books. Salim says, what will I do by making place in books? My father has made place in books too, but I don't want that. I want to rule hearts, not lands, especially that one heart who beats for me. I am only Salim, not Prince Salim. Salim sits on his horse and leaves from there. Joda says, what kind of time was that when you don't have heart? Jalal says, but now I have heart, and the part of that heart is returning. Some soldiers joke that Daniel is still same. He is fat. Jalal will have to make his throne big. They laugh. One prince comes there and says, how dare you call my brother fat? He puts dagger on their neck. Soldier says, we were just talking. Other prince comes there and says, you called Daniel fat. He says, I am sorry. Prince says, leave from here. Hope that Salim returns, otherwise I will kill you. Joda's soul says that human can give birth but can't dictate children of what to think. Salim had complete different personality from Jalal. A new chapter was going to open with Salim's return. He made 2 nations, but he was going to break his own house. History's great story was going to unfold. Farhan asked Salim, what will you say to man? Salim thinks. Man asked Salim, what kind of attack was that? You went to their place and attacked them. Salim says this war was going to continue for years. Many soldiers would have died. I finished it, and I hope that your king must be happy with this. Man says your life is valuable. Salim says every soldier's life have same value, and I am happy that I went to enemy's place. You must be happy that I saved soldiers of your king. Man says he is your father. Jalal has sent orders to call you back. He said that your learning is finished. Salim says Jalal sent orders many times and I denied every time to come. Tell them this time too that I am not returning. He leaves. Man says you have to go back this time as you can't say no to the one who has come to take you back. Salim says to Farhan that I am going back to Agra this time too. I am not going back to Agra this time too. I have decided to never go there. He comes in his tent and gets turned to see Hamida there. He greets her and smiles. Hamida kisses his forehead and looks at him. Says, I am seeing my heart's peace after 7 years. She says, you promised me that you will be with me, but I heard that you don't want to return to Agra. You don't want to follow my order. Salim asks, how are you? Hamida says, I didn't think that Salim would become a good person. Your parents are proud of you. Jalal used to think that you are returning as you're busy learning here, but I know that you are angry with them. I have come to take you back. Salim says, I am sorry, but I can't return. I have to learn more. Hamida says, so you are denying your grandmother. It's fine. She says, all need support in old age, but I think I have to return without my support. Salim says you will go back to Agra, but with your support. Hamida hugs him. Joda's soul talk says that Salim was his life. Jalal thinking I have Salim only, but Salim had a total different thinking. Voiceover says that Hamida was successful. Salim agreed to return to Agra. He was going to Agra, his hometown. He took 2 days to reach there. In palace, Jalal gets the message that Salim has agreed to return. He is returning with Hamida. Jalal says it's great news. Decorate whole Agra like bride. That says we have to work hard now, otherwise Ruqayya won't leave us. Ruqayya says to herself that I don't know how you stayed away from me, Salim. I was waiting for you too. But now, wait is over. He is returning. She eats pan and smirks. She says, now, I have to see what I made Salim habituated in childhood. That is addicted to opium. Is he still addicted to it or not? Imagine this human being. What kind of mother are you? Oh! In harem, princesses says that when Joda can marry Mughal king Jalal, then why can't I marry Salim? All princesses are getting ready to impress Salim as he is going to be next king. One princess says Salim must be very handsome. Preparations for his welcome is in full swing. Salima is handling kitchen and asks this is to work fast. Joda says to Jalal that I am dying to see Salim, but I am in tension. Jalal says first, you were worried that he's not coming back. Now when he's coming, you're still worried. Joda says to Jalal that I am very worried about Salim. In childhood, when Salim got away from me for 5 days, he didn't talk to me for a month. For that, and now Salim is returning after 7 years. Joda says, will he talk to me? Will he call me mother? Will he be angry with me? Jalal says he can't be angry with you. Joda smiles. Jalal says, I die to see your smile. Joda says, I have to go to prepare for Salim's return. Jalal says, now you will love Salim more than me. Joda smiles and says, I promise that I will keep your heart safe, and the one returning is also part of your heart. Jalal smiles. She leaves. All family members are waiting at the gate to receive Salim. Salim enters the palace. Joda waits anxiously to see him. All chants for Salim. Ruqayya smiles, seeing him. Salim looks at palace. He recalls how he left this palace 7 years back. He then sees Joda and Jalal, then Ruqayya. He gets down from his horse. Joda imagines her kid Salim, who runs to her and hugs, saying, I came back, Amijan. She kisses his neck. Joda gets out of her dream and looks at young Salim. Hamida asks Salim to meet his mother. Salim looks at Joda, then at Ruqayya. He approaches them and goes to Joda. He slightly smiles at her. Ruqayya is confused. Salim touches Joda's feet. Joda gets emotional and does his arty. Joda says, I can't tell you how much happy I am that you came to me first. Salim says, I didn't come to mother, but to Mariam Zamani. You have highest position in Sultanate. So as her, I had to come to you first as formality. He looks at Rukaya and says, Amijan. He goes to her. Joda is hot. Rukaya kisses his forehead and says, my child, how are you? I can't tell you how much happy I am to see you back. Salim starts to leave. Jalal says, Sov, Shaku Baba. Jalal says, I want to see what you had learned in all these years. I want to see if all what I have heard about you is true or not. Jalal gives sword to Salim. Joda says, what are you doing? He just returned. Jalal says, nobody will come in between us today now. Not even you. Jalal takes out his sword and asks Salim, are you ready? Salim nods. Salim and Jalal start the sword fighting. Salim falls on the ground by Jalal's attack and he gets up and fights with Jalal. Jalal is overpowering Salim. Salim angrily looks at Jalal. He dodges his attack and defends himself. He then overpowers Jalal and injures his hand. Jalal's hand bleeds. Salim says, I wanted to attack your chest, but forgive me. I forgot that you have heart there. Jalal smiles and says, very nice. Now you talk like a son of King Jalal. Today, by injuring me, you proved that nobody can hit you in war. I am happy to see your new avatar. Whatever I heard about you was right. Salim smiles. All chant for Salim. Jalal smiles. In the night, Salim is standing on terrace. Other princes come there. He greets Salim. Salim looks at them and says, there used to be 4 kids with me. Now there is 3. Where is 4th one? One prince asks, tell me who is not here. Salim says, I may be away from palace, but I know everything about here. I have heard that Murad is an aggressive person, but he still kills innocent pigeons. Prince says, I promise I never killed pigeon after you left. Murad asks Daniel to tell Salim. Daniel says he is right. Salim says, I would accept this only if Haida agrees to this. Murad says, Kutub, tell Salim that I didn't kill pigeon. Salim says, so Haida is missing from here. You are Murad, Kutub and Daniel. They smile. He hugs them. Salim comes in his room. He starts getting anxious. He feels dizzy and throws things here and there. He breathes high and takes out his dose of opium. He intakes opium and falls on bed. Salim says everything changed, but only this addiction of opium didn't change. Well, guys, thank you for watching today's episode. Salim is back. So let's stay connected and stay glued to this channel. Subscribe so that you can get notifications on when I upload new episodes. And please, don't forget that if you're interested in This Is Fit, it will be showing on Gus Missing Hollywood TV. Go there and get your own piece. Bye.